Hello, 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 everyone. We're back again. We have Sharon C. Cooper in the seat today. Hello, 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 everyone. So today we are here talking about the cost of love. So hey there, Miss Falva. I hope you all read it. We had a little bit of a delay in having her come here, so we hope that you guys got an opportunity to read through the book, because I want to hear what everybody's thinking. About the book. I got some thoughts about this one too, so I want to hear what everybody's thinking, or if you all are on the same page with me. Hey there, Miss Linda. Hello, 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 hello.
Hi.
Sharon, so thank you so much again for joining us. Hey, Angela. So, do you have any, everybody, it's can't be anybody out there that don't know you. But, you can just say who you are and say hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sharon C. Cooper. I write contemporary romance, romantic suspense, and I think I'm on book number 43 or 44.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
they're
wow.
adding up. I can't keep up now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Deb. Hey, thanks for joining us. Hey, Renata. Hey, 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 everybody. I'm your host today, Midnight Ace. We are at the book bar, where all the book chatting and shenanigans and wine happens up in here. You know how we do. We make sure that you are comfortable. Kick back, grab a drink, grab your book, put your feet up, and let's go. We're gonna talk about the cost of love today. Hey, 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 LaShawn. Hey, hey, hey. Hey there, Miss Brenda. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Hello, hello, hello. Hey there, Miss Brenda.
Hi.
Hey. All right. So, guys, before we dive into the book, let me tell you what the wine pair was for this one. Today we got a box wine. It's the black box wine, and it's a Pinot Noir. Now, this wine is great for, I think this is like my go-to for romance books, because it's soft enough where you don't get that bitterness and everything, but it's not so sweet like your syrupy sweetness. But this is a good solid wine. And then let me also tell you about box wines too. Don't sleep on your box wines, because this particular one is 500 milligrams, but you can get 3 glasses out of this. It's small, it's compact. You can put it in a bag if you're just going to visit somebody and it's a BYO. Bring your own bottle. Also, these last a little bit longer. The shelf life is a little bit longer than a bottled wine. So don't sleep on your box wines. Now, for as far as box wines go, Black Box is my favorite, but there are several different ones out there. So try this one and try others if you like wine. Okay, that's my spiel for
That's
today.
good. I was curious to see what you were going to come up with for
For this one,
Antonio's
yeah.
story. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sharon. Hey there, Miss Shay Baby. How are you? Thank you for joining us, dear. Thank you.
Hey.
So Sharon, the cost of love. Oh my gosh. So guys, I don't know about you all, but I was telling Sharon that this particular book hit very different for me. Um, when we read Ben's story, we had Ben's story and we got just a tiny bit of a glimpse of Antonio. And I don't know about you all, but he seemed a bit like it was something there on the surface, a bit, intriguing, if you will. He was the big brother, he was serious, he was the go-to person in the company and everything. So, you just kind of wonder when he was going to have his turn, or even if he wanted his turn. And I also think he was different from the other guys, because like most of them, they wanted to be their bachelors as long as they could, but then they got caught. But Antonio has always wanted to have that that perfect love. But then he was the last one to get it. So Sharon,
Isn't that how it always is, though? The ones that want it the most, it takes a while.
yeah, and then he had to have his heroine was not so open to it, so he had to work
Bring
for
that.
it. So what's the deal with giving him the hard one to go with, and then making him wait so long?
I don't know. I guess I was thinking he would be a good fit for Scarlett, because I knew he would wine and dine her, because this was
Hmm.
who he was. He was the romantic, but didn't get a chance often to express his romantic side because he couldn't find the right person.
Hmm.
And so I thought he would be a good fit for Scarlett, since she was kind of on the far end of that, like not trusting her emotions, like just feeling that she just didn't have that ability to love, especially since she had someone who adored her and she just didn't feel the same. So she figured something was wrong with her, not
Hmm.
thinking that the other guy probably wasn't her person. So yeah.
Yeah, and about Scarlett too. Again, what's different about her? Where did you come up with the characterization of her not feeling like she could love, and then literally was going to throw love away because she felt like, and there was nothing that really indicated to her. It was like she didn't have any kind of illness. She really didn't have any kind of mental illness or anything like that that would say that she couldn't love anyone. But where did you come up with that?
I don't know. I sit with I usually, for every story, I start with a I call it a character sketch. And
Hmm.
it's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 pages long. And while I was filling it out, and I was like, okay. And I'm always trying to make every story different, good or
Hmm.
bad. I
Hmm.
really like to have the stories different, because there's nothing worse than reading a story and feeling like I just read this story.
Hmm.
And so I really, really work. I really, really try to make all of them different. And so when I was, trying to find not necessarily the opposite of Antonio, but almost like, something that had a built-in conflict. So you had
Hmm.
the one person
Hmm.
who just, loved love. He just wanted to be in love with the perfect person. And you had her that was like, okay, I've dated some wonderful guy, and I never got to that point of, where I can't live without him. So she just assumed that, okay, it has to be me, because I've had these great guys and
Hmm.
can't can't seem to get over that little hump, basically. So I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know where it came from. It's just stuff that pops in my head. Some
Well,
things work, some things don't.
it definitely played on the mystery part of the mystery with this. So you started us off with giving us something to think about early on, but then you finished up with this with this newfound mystery, almost like what we get in Atlanta's Finest.
Yeah,
So
I could not resist. It was like I just needed a little something else in the story.
yeah, and
Hey,
so
Miss Chrissy.
yeah, so she said he was meant to be Bella's dad. Yeah. Yeah, Scarlett was a real challenging a character in there. Hi there, Miss Norma. How's it going? Hello, thank you for joining us. Yeah, she did do an awesome job. I agree.
Thank you. Thank
Um, and guys, too, if you have any questions about the book, again, because this is the time where everybody should have read it, so no spoilers in here. So if you have any questions, now's
You
the
said
time.
no spoilers. I think I might have just given some
No,
spoilers
no,
away.
I said no. I mean, and I did say no spoilers. I mean, spoilers are welcome.
Oh, okay. I'm
So
like,
ask your
oops.
questions, ask your questions, put them in there, and I will put them up on the screen here. So let's take Miss Sharon C. Cooper to the task about the cost of love, right? And look at this wonderful cover here. I mean, it's almost like we want to pick you away with this because even your color scheme with the last two books were great. So where did this green come from?
my cover cover designer, Liz with Celestial Design. She has been with me since, I mean, like forever. And I'm like a horrible author for her to work with because usually I don't know what I want. I hate going through stock photos. It's like my least favorite thing ever is to figure out a book cover. So she gets a lot of free reign. So my hat goes off to her, colors and all. She, she'll say, "What color didn't I use?" and just throw something. And then she'll send me several different ones to pick from. And she's amazing and the
Oh,
most patient person in the world.
oh, well, kudos to her then. Kudos to her. I love the green. If, as you know, I changed my whole you know colors to green
Yeah,
too.
I
So
noticed.
I'm a big fan of green. Hey there, Mama Tony. So everybody is saying Bella had a heart. Now Bella had a heart in Ben's story as
Yeah.
well. So I love the shift where we had Jordan and Bella in Ben's story, and then Jordan kind of faded, and then Bella kind of took just kind of took the lead on that.
Yeah, I am a fan of kids and romance novels. I love it. And I know a lot of readers don't like kids and romance novels, but I love it. So any chance I
Mhm.
get to put one in there, I
Yeah.
usually go for it.
Now with Bella, let's go to talk about Bella. So you made so when we met Scarlett in Ben and Mahogany's story, she was a single we know she was a single a mother. Now when you wrote Ben's story, I'm assuming that you knew you were gonna do Antonio's story already, right?
I did. Yeah. I knew I was going to do his story. I had no idea what it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It actually wasn't planned for this year. When I finished Ben's story, I jumped back on Parker's story, which I had started some time ago and just kept getting pulled away from it because of
Mm-hmm.
other writing, uh, just other writing stuff that just kind of took over basically. And but then after Ben's story was released, I had so many emails asking about Antonio. When is Antonio's story coming? Is he next? Is it going to be him and Scarlett? Are we going to see Bella again? It was like one after another. I'm like, okay, maybe I should go ahead and come up with the story for Antonio. So I put Parker's story, which is the next Atlantis Find. I put his aside again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I jumped on Antonio's story, and it took a lot longer than I had planned because it should have been out this spring. Because I didn't think it should have taken as long, but I had to do quite a bit of research on adoptions and just,
Okay.
the Ohio laws, try to just make it as close to real as possible, even though it's a
Mm-hmm.
fiction. But there's certain things in all of my stories. I try to keep it, as close to real or yeah, legal, that way it can feel as real as possible, basically. And so that took a little more time than I expected.
So the characters in here, a lot of them because of the real deep mystery that you had in here with the adoption and trying to take the child away from that or whatever. You had some characters that had to move that along, like Cynthia, and her daughter, which was what was his name? DeBella's father was
Ezra.
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 Yeah,
Ezra.
Ezra's
I can't
mother.
remember his mom's name.
Yeah, and his father. So what how did you I mean, you really did a good job with Cynthia and Ezra's mother. I mean, they were really good because you didn't know really kind of friend or foe, what they were going to do, how they were going to take, Antonio. Would they have just taken Bella away because rightfully the son was there? So courts usually kind of give them leeway
Some
with that
kind of
because
right,
they
yeah.
lost their son. So, I mean, all of this stuff was there. So, how difficult was it for you to infuse so much,
It
you
was hard.
into things? Yeah.
It was hard. And it was hard because I wanted to get it right. I wanted to make sense. I didn't want to just throw it together and like, oh, they'll figure it out. I really wanted it to build and build and build. But with that came, you'd be amazed at how much research, and I think a lot of authors could say that.
Mhm.
We do tons of research, and maybe only a snippet goes into the actual book. But we have to do the research so that we can build a story,
Mhm.
to try to make it believable. And I had always wanted to do a marriage of convenience, but I didn't want it to be like all of the other marriage of conveniences. So, yeah, that played a big part in it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is nothing like any marriage of convenience. They're a little bit, a little bit more playful than this one was. This was almost like it was a marriage of convenience, but it was also a seriousness where it was almost like a life and death situation where they
Yeah.
do that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you felt that because I really was trying to infuse that in,
Yes.
trying not to just skate over it, but really make you feel like, oh my goodness.
Well, I think Cynthia did that. She covered all of that. She knew what was going on. And then and another thing I like about, with Cynthia was, she didn't hold back, and she didn't like protect. She knew who her kids were, her daughter, and who she had married. And so I love that she had built that relationship with Bella and Scarlett to the point where they felt comfortable enough to come back and visit and make sure she was okay. But I'm telling you, there were some parts in that story where I really got nervous about. Like, I think Linda said that the mom's name, Ezra's mom, was Alberta. I could
Yeah.
not remember
Yeah.
that. So thank you for
Thank you,
that, Linda.
Linda.
Well, when Alberta, because I didn't know whether or not Alberta, how you were going to do Alberta to the end, because we didn't know whether or not she was friend or foe, but then she ended up being friend. So
Yeah.
and then you
Because I
had
really thought that the readers would think she'd be a foe. So then I was like, okay,
yeah,
how can I make her like opposite of what a reader might think, just
yeah.
because that part is fun.
Yeah. And also too with that, I thought at some point we was gonna see someone from, even though we wasn't in Atlanta, but I thought we were gonna see someone from Atlanta's finest, because the whole the scenes was getting very serious. We wasn't in just no regular romance here. This stuff was getting
I
real.
actually thought about bringing somebody in to protect to
Yeah.
protect Bella, but then I was like, man, if I bring somebody in, I can't have her almost kidnapped or anything. So then I was like, okay, no Atlanta's fine. But I did think about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the fact that the mother, Alberta, when she was, what we really thought was full, she was really conducting her own investigation and getting her ducks in a row. Because what we do know about her, she didn't leave anything to chance. So she
Right.
she was she was a
It was a
claw.
lot like her mother.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I do like how you brought her along, and I do love how, if you were going to make her friend in the end, how you made, her mother writing her the letter to saying that that she forgave her. So that was really good.
Yeah.
So we got some things in here. They're saying Cynthia knew what she was doing. Ezra's mother was a character. Yes, she was that. They're saying your writing is authentic. I agree. Um, okay, here's a question here. This is a good one too. I love this one. Why did you decide to redeem Alberta? Because
Because
she
I
was
thought,
good as gone.
yeah. Because usually when I'm writing, I really try to, just so you know, we're having a storm here. So I'm hoping the power and nothing goes out. But if I disappear, that might be, be
Okay, it was me before. Now it's you.
yeah. Yeah, because I just heard some thundering and it's flickering. So just,
Okay.
just just that. But I wanted to redeem Alberta because I thought, as a reader, the reader would think she would be the bad guy per se, and so I
Mhm.
wanted to make it opposite. That way, there was a little surprise there, and it wasn't as predictable. How the story would end. So I really thought that readers would think that she would be the bad guy, so to speak, and
Mhm.
so I did the opposite.
Yeah. Well, we do
That
love
was it.
Okay, and Mama Tony says that Scarlett worked her nerves. I kind of see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, Mama
Mama Tony
Tony.
has told me that a number of times. That's Scarlett, She was doing like that's Scarlett.
Yeah, but I can see where she was going with that. But she was necessary for the story, though.
She was, and I
Yeah.
had her like that, and it's a delicate balance with, especially with the heroines. You find
Yeah.
some heroines where most of the time in a romance, it's the heroines that drive the readers crazy. It's because it's such a delicate balance of creating that conflict that's needed for
Mhm.
the story. And a lot of times we go a little bit overboard.
Yeah.
But we try to kind of, balance it out to where, you don't be like Mama Tony and can't stand the character. Or no, the character worked her nerves.
Yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes they do. Hello
Yes.
there, Miss Sherelle Green. Thank you for
Hey,
joining us.
Sharon.
Sherelle Green is in the house saying hello to you. Let's see what else we
Hi.
got out here. Uh so Cynthia gave okay. Yeah, she did. But Mama Tony, I'm gonna say this too. That was one of the things that had me on the edge of my seat was when she wrote what she did in the will, because I felt like if somebody contested that will and then they was being mean because I felt like okay this and I'm over here like hurry up and marry her like Scarlett, you're gonna have to make a decision because we got to get y'all married so that he can adopt adopt Bella. So that had me scared, nervous on the edge of my seat.
That is so funny. That was another part that took a little research with the will, like how she
Mhm.
could set it. How it's like, okay, there's got to be a way you could set up a will that's not where you can't contest it. So that's when Ben Senior said, if she's as smart as I think she is, nobody will be able to contest that will. But that took more. That was some additional research.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it was all believable. I mean, I don't
it's
know all the
good.
laws and everything, so I had just assumed you were right, but it was quite believable though.
Yeah, now I feel like I know it all now. At least for a while until I forget it.
Yeah. So Linda says, did you know Scarlett was going to leave her mom out of the wedding, or was that just last minute decision? Oh my gosh. I thought, what a
I know.
heartbreaker.
Let me tell you how that came to be. Now, this is actually a secret
Okay.
because I needed a conflict at the family brunch. There's always some drama. I had nothing that hasn't already been done in all the other books. So I was like, I need some drama at a family brunch, and I have nothing. So that was the only thing I could think to do is have some drama between Scarlett and her mom. That's the only reason it ended up like that because I didn't have
My
no
heart.
crazy ex to come and act a fool. I had nothing else.
Well,
So
did your heart break a little bit for
it
her?
did.
Okay.
It did. It was so hard because I promise you, I did this list of like, because I usually do with the family brunch. I'm like, okay, what kind of drama or issue? Because it's expected now, just like with
Right,
the food,
right.
it's expected. You got to have some craziness. And I had nothing on that page. And I'm like, I got to think of something. And so then I said, okay, I couldn't think of anything with Antonio. And then I was like, well, maybe I could do something with Scarlett or Bella or I thought about bringing a new character in. And I was like, no, because then they might ask me to write that character story next and I'll be behind again on Parker. So it was a thing,
Mm.
with me debating with myself on what I could do to have a little drama at Sunday brunch. It was all about the Sunday brunch. That was the only
Okay.
reason she was left out.
Well, you did manage to bring Martinez in here too, so she's in everything. And I thought because that could have been the conflict there too. But again, it's almost like she's settling down a little bit.
I
because
want to keep everybody guessing with Martina because it's like with Laz with Atlanta's Finest. Between those two, those are the two that I get the most emails about. So it's like with them, I gotta keep everybody guessing. It's like, okay, yeah, I can have her to act a fool and get all get everybody in an uproar about the marriage and everything, which is one of the ideas I had. And I'm like, nah, because it's too expected. With Martina,
Mhm.
it'd just be another Sunday. So
Mm.
yeah. But I really liked the new well, kind of the new Martina. She's still the same, but I
Well, no,
wanted to show her softer,
she's
well,
yeah.
not really soft side,
Well, what she was, I think, and even the sisters that were sitting at the table doing the brunch, when she was making, rational statements, like, and they like looking like really, so
and
they
then she
didn't.
told them not to quit being so nosy or something.
Right. That was the one thing too. Because I even said, like, really?
Now,
Well,
did you expect did you expect her at to help Antonio with the dinner? Did you expect to see her at his place?
I didn't know what I knew that she was gonna do something, but that
Okay.
what you had her do was not what I was thinking, because that
Okay.
didn't seem like MJ characteristics to me. And but it was good, but I wanted to know, like, and I don't know if I missed this along the way, but were her and Antonio always like the one?
I didn't bring Antonio up that often. He
Yeah.
might have been in maybe one or two story. He was in Ben Senior's story for like a hot second.
Mhm.
And then he was in Ben Junior's story. But outside of that, I don't think I brought him up at all. So you really didn't know what their relationship was, you know.
Okay. So what
Yeah.
what was your why did you make the decision to have, MJB, like, cuz it sounds like the way the story was written that they were really close.
Yep.
Like they two peas in a pod.
Because it was something different.
Okay.
I felt it would be unexpected, especially with MJ. She's known as the troublemaker, always starting some mess or whatever. And so I was like, I need something. Once again, I'm like, I need something different for this story because I've done so many other. That's one of the disadvantages of having a long series and trying to keep every story unique. Where you really feel like the story is not like all of the other 12 stories or however many it
Yeah.
is, you know.
Well, this one definitely was not like it was not like any of the other stories. Even though you did have MJ in most of them, and that was cool because we love her.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what it's gonna
I think I would, people probably would like hunt me down if I didn't put her in a Jenkins book. That's how popular she is. People love to hate her. Readers love to hate her. It's like I can't stand MJ, but I couldn't help but laugh. Is she gonna be in the next one? Or, so it's like a love-hate relationship with MJ.
Mm. I think a lot of people was heartbroken when Scarlett left her mom out,
Yeah.
because that
That
was
was a
just,
tough one. That
yeah.
was a tough one.
Um,
Yeah, that was and I thought it was such a stretch trying to make it for my reasons for leaving her out, but I was like, okay, I got nothing else. I gotta
yeah,
have.
because we didn't know. We didn't know. So this is what I didn't know. I didn't until you just said why you was doing it, but I said, okay, we got to have a good enough reason why she would leave her mother out. And this is what I came up with. Okay, so this was a fast thing because they had to get this adoption done, and they just had to hurry up because they was running out of time. That was the only thing I came up with. But I was just like, oh my God, when she found out her mother turned around and everybody else knew and she didn't, I was like, oh, we are all in trouble now. Uh, um so now, okay, so if you guys remember, keep the questions coming because these are good questions. Let me see. I so they just said she thought the grandparents was gonna come to the brunch. Now that would have been something. That would have been something if
Actually, one of the things on my list of how they showed one idea. It didn't go that far, but they had showed up at Antonio's house. Out of the blue, they just
mhm,
showed up, and it just didn't seem like enough. Yeah,
yeah,
and so yeah, that would have been interesting to have them show up at the brunch.
yeah. But you did
That
kind
would
of
have been
have
some drama.
yeah, you did kind of have some conflict like that before, but
That's
if they
true
would have,
with
yeah,
Renee.
but but no, but here's how it could have been different though. If they'd have came like showed up to the house with the sheriff and saying that they was coming to take custody of Bella.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah,
That
but
would have been good,
they
but
would
then
have
you had
lost
to
their
you had
life.
several lawyers in the family. They wouldn't have gotten fired.
They would have lost their life.
That would have been good. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
that
Miss
would have been
Iris
good.
Bolin. Iris
Hey,
Bolin just showed up
Iris.
in there. Hey there, hey there. How are you? Um, so okay, so now you said earlier today that what made the decision to do Antonio's story before you did Parker? Because both
Yeah.
of these are closely anticipated novels. So
Yeah, Parker was supposed to be next. I was working on his story. But then after Ben's story was released, it was the emails. It was all the comments, the emails. When is Antonio's story coming? I mean, it was such a buzz. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just go ahead and come up with something for Antonio since it's still fresh in everybody's mind. And so then once again, Parker's story got pushed to the side. And then that's how I ended up doing Antonio. But his story, according to my schedule, his story wasn't planned to be released until the end of the summer.
okay, okay.
Yeah. And so, but it was going to be Parker's story this spring and then Antonio at the end of the summer or early fall.
Mm.
But
So they're just switching places. Is that
they're
what they're doing?
switching places. The only bad thing is Antonio's story took me a lot longer than I expected, just because of trying to incorporate the different legal stuff, the adoption, the will stuff, and yeah, so that took a little more mental work. But the feedback has been amazing, so it was worth it.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was going to ask you about that too. So, just a few comments that they're making about MJ.
Okay.
Brenda Laurel says that she's more mellow. I think so too. She's a little bit more mellow since she had her story. Um, and then I did love this too. One of my favorite scenes in there, Veda says the same thing, is when she served Antonio and Scarlett. But honey, let me tell you though, she was still in her element. She wasn't, she was letting them know.
that scene was that scene was so much fun. All right, I literally was laughing as I went. That's why Scarlett was laughing so much in that scene, because I was laughing as I was as I was writing, because I could totally picture MJ be like, y'all can stop whispering because I hear you, and just
What made you decide to have her? I mean, it could have been anything that she could have did, but why? And how did you come up with her
that
serving them?
that part was not in my outline, because originally
I
I
know.
had it I had it to where she was just gonna help him pick out the ring and just little stuff.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I gotta do some more. And it's like a lot of times, author, we pick scenes for us, that we have a good time with, and just try to work them in. That scene was for me to just have a little fun with MJ, and just show, let her be who she is.
uh yeah, so Mama Tony says that MJ knows when to speak and when to keep quiet. That's probably something she just learned along
Just
the
learn.
way. Right. And so we're
Because
gonna
up
see
until
how
now, she
far
didn't have a filter.
she was like that in this book. Now we don't know what she's gonna be like when we see her again.
That's right.
Circumstances might be different.
Yeah, she probably ain't gonna be the same.
Yeah. Now Ruby says she was surprised that Antonio was her favorite. I was surprised at that too. I mean, only because it just seemed like,
It was
with
out of the blue.
MJ, yeah, everybody is just kind of the same with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I just made that up.
Yeah, and yeah, me too, LaShawn. I said she did slay that dinner though. One thing about those girls, they don't do anything half,
That's right.
half.
They could
Uh,
cook, and
yeah.
and I've often mentioned that Martina is the best cook. So I was like, you know what? Let her show off her skills a little bit.
Hmm. Let's see what else. Uh,
Now let me
oh,
ask you,
hmm.
how do you feel about tropes that marriage of convenience tropes?
I do like them.
Okay.
And I think you can do a lot with them, because I think it offers a little bit of a intrigue because, like you did, you gave us a situation, you gave us a conflict. The conflict has to be good too. And I loved your conflict, even though it was more serious than I was anticipating.
Okay.
Right. So I do love marriage of convenience. I do.
Okay.
That is one I will put on my list. Yes, I do like
Okay.
those. Yeah.
Okay. Because I've been
Um,
wanting to do one, but I said with that one, and I also want to do a secret baby, but I gotta have something unique, something different.
oh,
And
if
so
you're
that's
gonna
why,
do, yeah, if you're gonna do a secret baby, it's gotta be, yeah. You
yeah.
gotta, you gotta, you gotta dig within to do one of
Yeah,
those.
that's gonna be another one where I'm gonna have to work work
Hmm.
hard and try to make it unique.
Yeah. So Veda wants to know, why did you decide to have an attempted kidnapping versus a full kidnapping with Bella? That's a good one.
Because the story was getting too long.
We could have look, Veda, we could have handled it, couldn't we?
I know. Most of my readers prefer the stories long, but yeah, as when I was writing it and I was getting past the deadline that I had set for myself, it's like, okay, because if I have her kidnapped, I gotta find her. And I started, playing all of it in my head, and I was like, you know what? Let me just let Scarlett go all mama bear and just they could attempt it, and then I could cut it off.
Yeah.
That was what I was thinking.
Mm.
So I was being lazy, basically, well, I wouldn't have to come up with a whole different scenario of how to get her back. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, Miss Prissy wants to know. So the stuff that you wrote in there about the law and everything of the Ohio law, was that all real? So yeah, I
It
think she
is.
did say you researched it. Yeah.
Yeah. And by according to my interpretation, everything about the law, anything I mentioned about the will, all of that was actual, legitimate, real stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in
And Miss.
Ohio, their laws aren't as liberal as some of the other states.
Hmm.
You know, so you can't just say, "Oh, I want my boyfriend to adopt my child." No, doesn't work like that.
What if they were married?
What if
That,
who were?
when the couple is married, doesn't that kind of
That's
pushes it
different.
up? Okay.
That's different. But if they're just dating, or if you just pick somebody and say, "Oh, my child needs a father," for whatever reason,
Hmm.
you can't. It's not allowed. Not
Okay.
right now, at least. Not according to the law in Ohio. I'm not sure
Hmm.
about everywhere else.
Yeah. That is
Yeah,
kind of tricky though too.
yeah. Because when I first was planning it, um, he was just gonna adopt her. It wasn't gonna be a marriage of convenience or any of that. But I'm like, crap, they gotta be married. The idea started with he's gonna adopt her, and then he's gonna make Scarlett fall in love with him. But then it was like, as I'm researching, it's like, crap, they gotta be married. He can't adopt her, and then it just like threw my whole plan. And then
Wow.
that's when the marriage of convenience idea is like, huh, I've been wanting to do a marriage of convenience. This might work.
Yeah, no, I like your recovery on that one. I like
It took a while though.
yeah.
Actually, 2 weeks.
Now, did you know right away that it was gonna be Scarlett and Antonio?
I did. I knew that when I was writing Bid on Love. I thought
Okay.
it would be kind of interesting to have brothers marry sisters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
That
something. yeah, I didn't really expound on that in the story, but yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure when we read Bid on Love that and we saw the two of them in there. I think the common denominator in that was Bella. Bella
Yeah.
needed something. She needed
And I
something.
really
Someone.
enjoyed Bella.
Oh yeah.
I could totally picture her and her little sass, and yeah, I could totally. There were moments where I thought maybe she was acting because I'm not 8 is older than, either I'm gonna do a small child or a teenager, but that 8 kind of threw me, the
Mhm.
8-year-old kind of threw me like, usually I use my nieces and nephews to kind of gauge on how they act at certain ages, and I don't have any 8-year-olds around me, so it's like I had to really kind of play around with that one.
Well, it was when they talked about and they explained what Bella was. It was almost like yes, she was 8 years old, but she was small for her age.
Exactly. That was
Okay.
intentional.
Okay. What was
Yeah,
that?
because she liked to be carried around. I'm like, who gonna be carrying an 8-year-old around? Your typical 8-year-old. So I had to make her smaller. And then there was a comment. There was one scene where Scarlett said, "Yeah, she acts like sometimes she acts like a baby, but she isn't, or something like that."
Yeah,
And so I
because
wanted her to just be adorable, to
mhm,
where he can't help but pick her up and carry her around like she's, his little baby doll. So
mhm. I was
yeah.
almost thinking to myself, you know me, I'm always extra. So when they kept saying that, I was like, okay, if they're gonna come out that she was like a preemie or something, and something was
I
right,
didn't even think about
why
that.
did
I should have.
yeah? Because I was like,
That didn't
why
even
is she
cross
not
my
grown?
mind. That did not cross my mind. That could have worked.
Yeah, so that's what I thought was gonna come out like something was
Nah,
gonna,
I
whatever.
just figured she was just petite.
Oh, okay, okay. And then what was the significance of both Bella and Scarlett always kept telling that Antonio he smelled good. Like
I
that
don't
was
know.
Sarah, I love you. I love you.
I
You know,
don't know what that was about, but that my last read through it, I'm like, man, I didn't realize I said this so much. But at that point, I had to be done with the story and get it to the end. Yeah, but I did notice that during my last read through before sending it to the editor. I was like, man, I didn't realize I said this so much. And I
just
didn't have
so you
time to try to come up with
know.
something else.
I mean, it was fine, but just so you know, as a reader, and I don't know, maybe they can back me up in the audience. Like when you use something more than once, we tend to think, okay, we need to pay
There
attention to
must be
that
something.
because it's
No, I can admit that was laziness on my part of not coming up with something else. There's no significance.
okay. I was stop. Okay,
Except I do love a good smelling man. So maybe that,
okay,
I don't know.
okay. Well, that's something. That's something.
But
Uh,
yeah, I did notice that. But it was at that point, I literally had to be done with the story and get it to the editor. I was like, crap, I didn't know I did this so many times. And I was like,
and it was both. It was both.
and it was
Bella
a
and
number of times.
yeah, but it was both of them.
Yeah.
So
I
maybe
wish
that was
I had
one.
some clever, something clever for my reason for doing it, but it was straight up laziness.
Well, you could have said something like it was a comfort for the both of them.
Yeah, that's it. That,
Yeah.
yeah, it was, yeah. His scent was so comforting to them.
Well, it definitely was to Bella for real, though. It was to Bella. Okay, Ruby wants to know, did you know that Cynthia was gonna leave us when you started writing the book?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I knew she'd be temporary. It was just a matter of when.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I would just say that it added more intensity to how serious they needed to get Bella covered because she was going to win that money and they could have contested that will.
Yeah. And so in the meantime, I was really hoping that um the way Antonio and Scarlett were spending time together. I was hoping it would be enough to make their relationship believable enough for them to
Mhm.
get married. Just believable enough for the reader to, I know sometimes we have to suspend, belief or whatever, but I really wanted them to come across as compatible enough to actually make it work. So.
Yeah, I think it came across really good too. Duchess says she loves the part where MJ was serving them. I think, yeah, that one was a real good one. And
That
yeah,
might have been my favorite scene. It was
yeah,
definitely one of my favorite scenes to write.
yeah. I don't,
Yeah.
I you know, it was so many of them for me. I mean, that I did love MJ in that one, and I even loved her at the brunch. I loved the times that Bella always the communication between Bella and Antonio. I love those. I just love how they connect. Um,
Oh,
one
how
of
did you like it when he told her he was going to be a real father?
Oh my God, that was, that and the
Yeah,
scene in the beginning where he was just like, when he was about coming to tears, especially when she, ran to him. All of those were just,
yeah,
yeah, those are heartwarming ones. And Brenda says she says she loves the family, the Jenkins family circle, um, especially when trouble comes, how they band together. That's what I
yeah.
love about family, anyways. Yeah. Uh-oh. So Ruby is saying she loves the secret baby trope.
Ooh. So I got to work on that for Ruby.
Mhm.
I've
Um,
always wanted to do one, but I got to have it unique.
yeah. And I agree with Brenda, because I love your take on the marriage of convenience. You could do that one again for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So if I come up with a unique marriage of
Mhm.
convenience, because I do enjoy reading them, but majority of the time when I read them, they're pretty much the same. To inherit some money or inherit land, or not necessarily for protection. So
Mhm. Well,
although
and
I like the
yeah,
protection
yeah,
part.
the protection was always there. All of your men are pretty much protectors, right?
I try to
Did you?
make them, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you do that one really well too. Mm. LaShawn says she was surprised at Antonio's dad going along with the marriage of convenience. Let's talk a little bit about Antonio's dad because we saw a large portion of him this time. And I think it was because of all of everything that Antonio had to deal with from like
The
childhood and
legal,
all of that.
yeah, yeah. I'm a huge fan of Ben Senior, because in
Mhm.
my mind he is gorgeous. He's just this like sexy older dude. And so I really always enjoyed putting him in a story. And I really needed him in this story, mainly for the legal part
Mhm.
of somebody
Yeah.
to actually, kind of, lay it out for them. Why he went along with it, yeah, I don't know. I figure as a lawyer, they're kind of immune to, being overly sensitive or whatever. So I just
But
figured he would go along with it. And I think too, and I don't think I brought this out really in the story, those that know Antonio, they knew that he wanted that family. He
Mhm.
wanted, and then if anybody has seen him with Bella, so I think that was part of it too. Everybody knew that, he had feelings for Bella and her mom. And
Mhm.
so I think in my head, that might be part of why Ben Sr., kind of put the thought out there, the idea, because he technically is the one that kind of put the marriage of convenience idea out there. Because he
Yeah.
said he deals with a lot of them, and I'm
Mhm.
thinking people get married for all kind of reasons these days.
Yeah. And that's
Um,
kind of what he said though too.
yeah, yeah. So that I didn't do any research to see if there is any kind of information on how many people do get married for convenience sake. But I just really believe that a lot of people do probably these days, either for insurance or for
Mhm. Mhm.
share a household or whatever. Yeah.
But I also think that Ben Senior saw that Antonio was in love, so it was no hardship for him to push that convenience on there. In more
Yeah.
in many ways, it was to jumpstart, the relationship.
Yeah. I do think he was concerned that the feeling might not be reciprocated though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think in one sense, if it's not in there, I was thinking about putting it in there where he even asked, "Are you sure about this? What if
Yeah.
she never comes around?"
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, that, like I said, it was so much in there. You grabbed us right from the beginning. I mean, my heart started to immediately break for being when it just broke his heart that he was happy for his brother, but it was one of those things, like I could just see him saying, when is it going to be my turn,
Yeah.
and he was already dating Scarlett, but it didn't seem like it was going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
um
And one of the things I thought about when I was writing that scene is it's probably usually women who think about, when is it going to be my turn?
mhm.
When, bridesmaid, for 50 million weddings or whatever, when will my turn come? And so I thought it would be kind of cool to kind of reverse it a little bit,
Mhm.
where it was the guy who really wanted this, because I don't know too many guys who really look forward to. I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but
Yeah.
ready to settle down and do anything to make it happen.
Yeah. I don't know. He was just it was it did show the sensitive side of him, but and I like I said, that's what drew me into this story.
Oh,
Was just
good.
him, just feeling that way. And I love how like Liam brought him out to talk to him, and all of that. So that was all good that they band around each other. Really good. So everybody's talking about he must have been a really good smelling man. Like you don't really need a reason to have a good smelling man, I guess, just saying. Everybody likes a good smelling man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got a little carried away with that one. I was really surprised at how many times that popped up. I was like, man, and just did not have time. I guess I could have pushed the deadline back, but it was like the story was already going long, and I had went past my initial deadline, so it was like I gotta wrap
Mm-mm.
it up.
It didn't mess up because, like, for me, when Bella said it, it just made me think, because she was an 8-year old, kid, and that she always wanted to be picked up. But in my mind, I just felt like she felt comfort in having, to pick her up. And then she went right to the neck and she was always saying, "You smell good." So that was my take on it. Not that you just put it in there because you was too lazy
I'm
to
gonna from now on, anybody ask me that, I'm using what you said. I love
yeah.
that. That's like perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So you shouldn't have been thinking that. Brenda Woodbury would like to know: will you be writing about the cousins from Chicago? Yeah, because you did kind of mention them a little bit there.
Yeah. I have a family tree on my website of the Jenkins, and I'm still debating on whether or not it will be a spinoff or if I'll just add them to Jenkins and Sons Construction. So I put that little hint in there because I figure some reader is gonna say, email me their opinion about how they want to see it go. So far, the majority, it hasn't been a whole lot, but the few that have reached out said that they want me to continue, add them to the Jenkins and Sons Construction and not move them to Chicago. Because one of the things I thought about was doing a spinoff and then having, these are the Jenkins in, Chicago. But the problem with that is I couldn't do the Sunday brunch, which is huge for the Jenkins family. So that would be a disadvantage of moving them or spinning them off into to Chicago. So as of right now, I think they're going to be a part of the Jenkins and Sons construction. And there's a few other characters that haven't been introduced. Jada has another brother
Mm.
Adam, who's in the military. He might have been brought up maybe once or twice in the series, probably in the girls in the earlier books. Yeah, and so that's four easily. And I think there's somebody else, but those are the ones just off the top of my head.
Mm. Well, the
I don't know
juice is flowing.
when. I don't
Yeah.
know when
Mm.
those stories will be written. Because I got to do some catching up with Atlanta's finest. So,
Yeah. Um, Veda, let me just say you wrong for this. You
oh
are wrong for
boy,
this. She says last need a secret baby. Honey, no, he do not. Listen, this series will end as its existence if he comes with a secret baby.
you know, I
Everybody,
get I get some tripped out emails. I wouldn't even dare
I mean,
risk last screwing up that bad. Oh man, that would be just yeah. That's even
yeah,
over the
anybody but Laz. I'm sorry, Veda. I can't go down the book buddy journal with you on journey with you on that one. No, 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 no.
Ooh, people
I
would
would be
be
scared to
at
read
me.
that one.
Yeah, no, they were trying to get me in trouble.
Mm, 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 mm. Uh, yeah, they're
Yeah,
they're talking about how they love the scene about Bella finding out that Antonio was going to be her dad.
yeah, that
Oh
was another one I liked writing.
yeah, I like this one, LaShawn. And you may have to explain a little bit more, but she says, "Have you ever thought about bringing the family together for a funeral? Who's she gonna kill though? Who gonna die?"
I did, and one of my beta readers practically leaked through the phone and said, "If you kill off one of those grandparents, because that was
I
my thought,
know.
it's like they might live forever."
Yeah, the
I
grandmother this
have
one.
thought about it though. I
Uh,
have thought about it, and there was one time where I came very close, and she almost had a fit. Yeah,
oh,
so
yeah.
I don't know how I would do that. I might can make one get sick or something, you know.
Well,
Uh,
didn't you do that already? I know when they had in the bid on love when they had the no when they had the family reunion and the grandmother was saying, you guys got to be here because you never know how long I'm going to be here. And I said, oh geez, is she about to write this in here? And I don't know if I could take that. I don't know if I could take that.
yeah, that's probably. I already said they're probably gonna have to live forever, or what will happen is I won't put them in the book as much, But I
Yeah.
really like them, and they're every now and then. I haven't had Stephen Jenkins show up on the page that often or that much
Mm.
lately,
Yeah.
because he was mainly there for the girls.
Hmm.
And lately it's been Graham who's been, making an appearance in the stories. But I have thought about that though. But I don't know. I don't think I could do it successfully without alienating readers.
Mm.
Even though it's life.
Yeah, it is life. That's
Yeah.
so sweet of you. Hey there, King. What's going on? Thanks for joining us.
I
If you guys, if you just joining, you're at the book bar because shenanigans going on, and I am here with Miss Sharon C. Cooper. We're talking about the cost of love. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat now because time is going, and we always get on here, and time just flies by so fast. So if you have any questions, please jot them in there now so that we can try to get all of your questions asked. Yeah. Now she says yeah, I did like this too, Veda. She says she loved that Bella and Scarlett was the only ones that called Antonio Tony. And
that was intentional. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And he said even Liam had said something about that too. And he was just like, do you see this little girl? Oh my goodness, I thought I didn't know what you were gonna do with this one too. So when they had the house, the vacation house, and he had the whole, room redone again, I thought at some point I thought Jordan was gonna show up and say, "Man, what did you do in my room?" or whatever. But I think he would have been okay with it though because it was Bella.
Actually, in my original version of my outline, that was as Jaden. That was part of the epilogue. They
Yeah.
were all going back there for vacation, and then he gets there, and and Bella has the room, and yeah. But I thought that was just okay. I wanted um, the epilogue that I went with kind of won out basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean that works too. So I mean, if we see him again or something like that, it was gonna be interesting to me to see how was he gonna feel like he was replaced or whatever. But Jordan didn't seem like he was that type of kid. And then it was Bella, so Bella
Yeah,
was his best friend though.
yeah,
But
crazy about
he could have did a half and half though.
That's true. That's true. Could have put some bunk beds in there
Yep,
and
yep,
part of
yep,
the room
yep.
pink or something.
All right. Wait, it said doesn't have to be a
Oh,
man.
the funeral.
Yeah. Wait, is that what she's saying?
I'm assuming it doesn't have to be a main character. It could be Antonio's real mother. That's true.
Oh, that's a thought.
Yeah,
That's a
but I
thought.
don't know if anybody be broken up about it.
Right.
Yeah,
But Ben Senior would say it's the right thing to do.
that's true.
He would
That's
say
true.
that. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah,
Let's see.
that's true.
Say okay. So this is Duchess again. She said, "Okay, I think I can get with that because we really don't know what her." Yeah, he's talking about Antonio's mother. Wait, here's what is she saying here?
Shay on here starting some stuff.
Cutting up. That's my slick partner, So when I can't do it, she'll do it. Wait, they says I think I voted.
To keep it with Jenkins and Sons, not to do a
Yeah.
spinoff, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But then how are you going to make that
Oh,
work?
so Shay telling me I'm spilling too much, so I'm not saying nothing else about spinoffs or no other characters.
Look, she definitely ain't telling too much, Shay. She definitely ain't telling too much. Okay.
Actually, I think if you guys saw some of the emails I get, I probably could just write about the Jenkins for the rest of my career. I probably could get away with that.
We would like that, but I mean, realistically, we know.
So she's attacking me from both sides.
Too funny.
I can't say too much more.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the cost of love, so you can talk about all of that. That's already out.
Right, I can talk about that.
Okay. And then they're saying Brenda
says, not last.
Yeah, we gonna have to take that one off the table. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not touching last.
Leave my last. That's my last too. But anyway, though, Sharon, so we know that next you got coming up next is
Parker.
His
Parker. Story is book number 8 in Atlanta's Finest series. The title is Protected. And if anybody read Committed, they know that Parker has kind of a dark past.
Who hasn't read Committed? Well, wait a minute. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Listen, I am a woman of the people. Oh my goodness. But they know they don't have to say if they can't say, but I am the woman of the people. Look, and then LaShawn, she says, don't start, because LaShawn too funny. Oh my goodness. So okay, so coming up, hey there, Miss Mary, that's my cuz. Parker's coming. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I think we were okay with waiting for Parker because she gave us Antonio. That was good.
Really, because
balance.
I get an email every week, at least one, asking about Parker. So
Well, now we got Antonio, so you don't have no excuses to wait. So it's good going now.
Parker is definitely next.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize it's been 2 years since I published Atlanta's Finest book.
Yeah.
I
It
was like,
didn't seem
wow.
that way, but wait a minute. We got committed was committed the last one?
Committed was the last one, and it was in 2022.
Really?
Yeah, I know,
That
right? It's
no,
the
that
same
one
thing I
still
said.
resonates with me.
Yeah, a reader told a reader told me it's been 2 years, When is Parker getting his story? Because had I known it would be this long before I released the story, I probably wouldn't have put that little I don't know hint, or I wouldn't have alluded to him being the next story, because my plan was after Committed, a few months later, Parker's story was going to be released. But then it's just, yeah, time just got away from me. And then I did some collaboration, so that kind of
Yeah.
pushed back my regular schedule. So, but Parker is next. That story has taken a lot of research too, because his background, he grew up in a gang.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and his father is the leader. So yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
taking
that's
a
right. I
little,
remember that too.
yeah. So
Well, here's a reason. Linda says it gives her more time to
that's
catch
right.
up and reread. So there you
Get
go.
to reading, Linda.
Yeah. All of us gonna probably have to reread some stuff too.
I have to do some reminders.
Yep, yep, yep. And then I mean that we all have been waiting on Parker story. So
Yeah.
now you can we're releasing you now. You gave us a Jenkins, so now it's back to the Atlanta finest.
All right. So I'm
All
gonna
right.
I'm gonna keep working on Parker's story. Try to make it a little unique. And
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we
taking a
already
little
know that Parker's story is gonna be good. LaShawn says Parker's story is gonna
time.
be good.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. Like fingers
yeah.
crossed.
No, 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 no. You got this.
Okay.
So guys, I would encourage you guys to make sure that you follow me on YouTube and Facebook for more of these interesting chats with the authors. I'm gonna have Miss Sharon C. Cooper come back if she will, and then hopefully we can talk about
Anytime.
Parker. And so make sure you follow so that you won't miss any shows. Sharon, give us all things Sharon, where to find you, where they can connect, where they can stay connected to you about what your upcoming stories are.
Okay. You can find me on social media. All of my links are on my website.
Mhm.
For Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. With Pinterest, I do a Pinterest board for each book.
Mhm.
So you'll get an idea of who my inspirational people were for me to come up with my characters. You'll see some of the outfits that are described in the
Mm,
story, houses, stuff like that.
okay.
Yeah. So check out my Pinterest board for all the stories that have been released. Some are still secret because I'm still working on them, but
Okay. And what
man,
are you on Pinterest?
that is a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
But if you go to my website, there's a link.
Okay. All right. And the website is SharonCooper.net. www.sharoncooper.net.
Yeah, and so my Pinterest is Sharon C. Cooper.
Oh, okay. I would think that too, but you never know.
Because some things are Sharon Cooper, some are like my website is SharonCooper.net.
Mm,
And then some of my emails have a C in it. But anyway.
okay. Well, I have one last question for you. So
Okay.
you know what we thought about the book. We all loved it and everything.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, no, we really did. But what did you want us to take away from this book?
I wanted it to, with all of my books, I always wanted to be entertaining. I always wanted to be where, and then this came from a book club that I did the other day. And a person said, I always want people to think about the story after they're finished,
Mhm.
where it sticks with where the characters stick with you, whether or not with this particular story, I also want readers that, especially readers who are single and want to be married, that anything's possible. You just never know when your happily ever after is going to come, no matter the age or whatever. You just have to be
Okay.
kind of open to however it might come, like in a
Okay.
marriage of convenience.
Yes, that is true. With an adoption.
Yes, yes.
Mm. And also Sharon, where are there any Sharon C. Cooper sightings? Are there any events that you're going to be going to?
I will be my next reader event. Actually, but I'm going to be there as a reader at Miss Beth's pajama party.
Oh, in October?
Yeah, I'm going to be in
Okay.
Detroit. As an author, I'll be at Raw.
All right.
That's going
Okay.
to be fun. Yeah.
Okay, so the Beverly Jenkins pajama party is all closed now. So if you didn't get that
Yeah.
ticket, you probably won't be able to get it. But Raw, if you go to www therawexperience.com, there's
R
still
R R R A W.
yeah, that's it. R
Yeah.
um W. Wait a minute, what is it? This
R
is how I
R
go. I go to
R R A W.
brownbookseries.com and then I click up on the Raw Experience.
Okay. And I'm gonna have it on my, I'll have it
Yeah.
everywhere. I'll be putting it in my newsletter and just stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And
Yeah,
and
because I
I
think
have
it's gonna
it,
be
I've
amazing.
been posting it too. So here, I'm just gonna put this on here, the Brown Book Series,
Yeah.
and then just click on the Raw Experience. Those tickets are still available now, but you want to hurry up and get them now because they will be closing. And there are some things on there that you do not want to miss.
Yes.
So please, please, please get your tickets. Come join us. I will be there at Raw. I will be also at Miss Bev's pajama party. And I'm also doing a book tour with Iris Boland. She was just here
Nice.
in Chicago last weekend. And then the weekend of October the 17th, we're going to be in Louisiana with a couple of book clubs. So if you're in that area, please do come out. Make sure you purchase your tickets there. That event is about to close. So go to www.irisboland.com, click on the events tab, and then purchase your ticket for Louisiana if you are in that area. Come on out. We've been having a lot of fun. We'd love to have you. All right, guys, that
Cool.
is all. Remember, the Black Box Pinot Noir is the pair for the Cost of Love. So go out and try that if you're so inclined to. Make sure if you have not read the book, too bad we gave you some spoilers, but here it is right there. Go out and get it. Make sure you read all of the Jenkins construction books just so you can stay connected and understand kind of what we have been talking about. Stay tuned with Sharon C. Cooper for everything else that she has going on. Make sure you sign up for her newsletter. Those newsletters are invaluable because sometimes, when you're spacing out and not on social media, you get that newsletter in there and then you feel like you're informed. So go
Yeah.
out and get that. Anything else, Sharon, you want to share with us?
No, I just want to thank everybody for all the love and support over the years. I really appreciate you guys. You make me want to keep writing, keep coming up with stories, and and keep the emails coming. I love them.
Okay. All right. We can do that.
Okay.
Mama Tony says she paired this book with some Tennessee whiskey and ginger ale.
Okay.
Now, hey, if you're a
While
big
she
girl,
was
you go
cursing
ahead and do that
Scarlet.
too. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a great evening. Thank you
All
for
right.
joining
Thank you,
us.
guys.
And make sure that you be kind to yourself and others always. Okay. Bye-bye for now.